Good morning. I'm calling the order to the May 2025 meeting of the IHCDA Board of Directors. We are meeting pursuant to this board's policy for participation by members of the IHCDA Board of Directors in board meetings by simultaneous electronic communication. This means that only 3 members must be physically present at the site of the meeting, and the remaining members may call in. There will be an audio feed for the general public so that members of the public can listen to the meeting, and there will be a link to the video recording posted on IHCDA's website next month. At the time of the motions are being made, each board member that makes a motion must state his or her first and last name for the record. The votes will then be tallied by roll call. I will now take a roll call of the board members to confirm members who are present and their location. Mark Pasquarelli, designee for the State Public Finance Director Dan Hughey, present in the room. Greg Pauls.
Present in the room.
Avi Reddy.
Present in the room.
Chad Greiwe.
Present virtual.
Andy Place Sr. Not present. Michael Schottmeyer. I think you're on mute.
Still not hearing you, Mike.
A thumbs up. There we go. He is present. And Tom McGowan.
Tom McGowan, present.
Thank you very much. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the April 24th, 2025 board meeting. Before we get to the vote, do we have any questions or comments regarding the meetings? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve?
Tom McGowan, move for approval.
We have a motion. Can I get a second?
Greg Pauls, second.
We have a first and we have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. The second of our long agenda we have here today. Please welcome Richard Harcourt, who will present the Carriage House Glendale Apartments bond recommendation.
Morning, Board. Thank you for accommodating this extended agenda. I'm here to request approval to issue for IHCDA issue $17,398,500 in tax-exempt bonds on behalf of the Carriage House Glendale Apartments. This is tax-exempt financing, non-recourse to IHCDA's balance sheet. You all approved this in September 20th, 24 as a project under the 2025 AB bond round. Project's located in Indianapolis. It's really just northeast of the Glendale area. It's a rehab facility, 204 units, age restricted at 60% AMI. Developer is Gene Glick, and they obviously would like to close this prior to our next board meeting. So I will stop and take questions.
Board, any questions for Richard?
Obviously a strong sponsor as it relates to the deal.
Thank you very much, Tom. Hearing no questions or comments, then I will take a motion to approve.
Oh, should I read the resolution first?
Sure, why not? Let's do it that way. My apologies.
That's fine. Resolved that the board approve the Series 2025 multifamily housing revenue bonds, parentheses, Carriage House Glendale Apartments, close parentheses, pursuant to the resolution attached hereto as Exhibit A, as recommended by staff.
Thank you, Richard. I'll take a motion to approve.
Tom McGowan, move for approval.
I have a first. Can I get a second?
I'll be ready. Second.
Aye.
I have a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I'm all over the place this morning. I apologize. I got to find my whole list again. Here we go. We'll start with Greg Pauls.
Aye.
Avi Reddy.
Aye.
Chad Greiwe.
Aye.
Andy Place Sr., who's not here. Michael Schottmeyer.
Here, can you hear me now?
We can. And then Tom.
Aye.
Tom McGowan. Mark Pasquarelli votes aye. All in favor. No dissents. Passes unanimously.
Thank you, board.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Richard. I will move to the IAC update, and what we'll do here is actually I'm going to have Doug Eckerty have the floor to be able to provide some comments. Thank you, Doug.
Get it? Yep. My wife turns the mic off at home all the time. So I'm just kind of used to that. Thanks for the time, folks. Quick update. Today is my official last day here. We selected a new executive director a week and a half ago, I guess it was. And I just want to thank the board for the opportunity that I've had to be here, the governor for allowing me to be here. And it's been an enjoyable experience. Lots of really good people here. Made a lot of new friends. Those things I'll treasure for a lifetime and take with me, and hope that I'll be able to stay in contact with most, if I can. And Secretary Speedy was hopeful to be here today because he wanted to make the announcement of the new director, but since he's not here, he said, want me to go ahead and do that. So I'll go ahead and do that. So the selection was made. By the way, we had 94 applicants. I don't know if you knew that or not. We had 94 for the position, and we whittled it down to about 12. And I think we actually interviewed, 9 was the number. And I thought, frankly, all the candidates were really strong and interviewed very well. And Mark was a part of that. I'm sure he'd echo that as well. I was very pleased. So it got down to part of it's a difficult final decision. Maybe we have that many strong candidates, but I think we landed in the right place. So Tom Pearson, who I think probably most of you know, be the new executive director, and assumed those positions about a week and a half ago, I guess. And he hit the ground running. He's very serious about what he's going to do, and I could tell that right away because the first thing he did was to revoke my parking privileges. So today's my last day to be able to
work on that.
Can we work on that? Can you help me with that? Yeah, I thought it was kind of cold, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm going to stop right there and just say thank you again, and invite Tom to come up and share a few comments. He didn't want to.
Nothing's going according to plan on this board meeting. I'm trying to vote things before resolutions, so we're good.
Doug, thank you very much for those kind words. Board, it's a pleasure to serve. It's a pleasure to serve Governor Braun in this position. We have a lot of wonderful individuals here. Part of them are here. One thing that was shared with me last week, shared it with Matt and some of the other management people here. It was a piece from 2012 called Vision Squad. Former crew that was here, Mark Wallner, Blake Blanche, and our former executive director put this together when there was a transition much like this years ago. And there's 2 individuals that are still on there. That list is still here, myself and Matt. But thinking back about what they were trying to accomplish, it was a vision for IHCDA. How can we help the constituents? And that is going to be the direction that we continue to take here at IHCDA. There's people out there that need help, that count on us, and we're going to do everything we can in a fiscally responsible way. So Doug Eckerty, as many of you know, has been invaluable over the last couple months. He has gotten to know a lot of individuals here, understand what we do and the importance that we do. So Doug, thank you for stepping in and guiding us along those ways. Other than that, I try not to speak too much, but once again, thank you for letting me speak. And if there's anything that myself or any of the staff at IHCDA can help the board with, please reach out. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, just I'll echo a couple comments here. We did have 9 applicants that we did interview. Secretary Speedy and Doug, I thought, did a great job reaching out to Chad and I to be part of that process. So we were part of the process. The candidates did interview very, very well. And so it was a very difficult decision to make. But I think I view that, as much as it's hard because you have to let 8 people down, I look at that as very plus for the state of Indiana, position where we're getting people who are going top of the top instead of looking around saying, well, we just had to pick somebody. So Tom obviously was the one who we selected. And again, while it was a tough choice, I think we're headed in the right direction. And I also appreciate Secretary Speedy and Doug, including Chad and I, in on that. I thought that was something you didn't have to do, but you did, and I thought that was a valuable part of the process, so I appreciate it. So any comments on the board?
Only comment I would have is, on behalf of the board, from Tom's perspective, we'll be here to support you because we're all here for one reason, and that's to address the needs of these individuals in the state of Indiana. And Doug, thank you so much for what you had done. And I couldn't have been a better person to come in and create stability. And so thank you very much for that.
With that, we'll close this section and move to other business. The other business I have is I just want to, if it can be reflected in the minutes, and I'm sure everybody feels the same way, especially with Tom, your comments. I would like to single out Doug for coming in. It's tough to come in a transition period.
Yeah.
And not only did you come in, but you came in with a connection to IHCDA. So you're able to hit the ground running, I think, roll up the sleeves, and then what's a relatively short amount of time when you think about the grand scale of it, you're able to get a lot of things headed in the right direction. And I think that's hard to do in a short amount of time, because a lot of times when you're in a short amount of time, it's easy to say, well, I'll just manage the position, do no harm, and let's just kind of move on until the next executive director is named. But instead, you actually took the initiative and got some things rolling that I think really help IHCDA for the future, and you set the tone. So we, from the state of Indiana, from the IFA perspective, we feel very fortunate that you were selected to come in during that interim. And I just can't not say how much I appreciate the effort and the time and the inclusion that you had and brought us in. And you're very transparent with the IFA and with us. And that really made us feel very comfortable with what was getting done. Thank you. All right, with that said, I think we don't have any more business here. So I will take a motion to adjourn.
Greg Paul, so moved.
Second.
I'll be ready. Second.
Roll call for this. No roll call. We are adjourned at 10:14. Thank you.